Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Kindness Advantage. I'm your host, Cindy Rowe, and in 10 minutes or less, we explore how to bring kindness into every corner of your life. And today, I'm going to be talking about something pretty simple, but incredibly powerful little routines that create big kindness. Because here's what I've learned we don't rise to the level of our intentions, we fall to the level of our habits. So let's start with a question. When your day gets stressful, because we're all there most of the time, right? Or when things feel overwhelming, when you're tired, busy, or stretched thin, come on now, I know you are with me here. Do you become more intentional or more reactive? Most of us become reactive, and that's not a character flaw, it's just really how our brain works. Research shows that around 40 to 45% of our daily actions are driven by habit, not conscious decision making. What does that mean? Well, if kindness isn't built into your routines, it probably won't show up when you need it most. And here is the kicker: stress makes habits stronger. What? So, like in high stress moments, we don't become our best selves. We become our most practiced selves. And that's why routines matter. And folks, if you've seen me speak, you know what I'm talking about because I talk about the intentional kindness. And when you practice that on a daily basis, a regular basis, in those tough circumstances, those tough situations, those hard conversations, it becomes easier to respond versus react. Now, I know you've probably been here too, but I remember a time when I was stretched where everything felt so busy. Back to back meetings, emails were piling up, trying to keep everything moving. And I noticed something. I wasn't being unkind, but I wasn't being intentionally kind either. I was rushing, like short responses, quick reactions, moving on to the next thing. Nothing really terrible, but nothing meaningful either. And that's what it hit me. Kindness doesn't disappear when we're busy, it just gets crowded out unless we build it in. So, why do small routines work? Here's the good news: kindness doesn't require more time, it requires more intention inside what you're already doing. This is where small reset routines come in because small habits, they reduce decision fatigue, they create consistency, and make kindness automatic instead of optional. And according to behavior science, attaching a new habit to an existing routine, which is called habit stacking, makes it far more likely to stick. James Clear, you know him, right? Atomic Habits author. He said, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Kindness is no different. If it's not your system, it won't show up under pressure. So, I want to give you 3 small kindness routines that can create big impact. I want to make these real. These are simple, they're doable, and they are powerful. Number 1, the morning tone setter. Before you check your phone, before the day starts pulling at you, take 30 seconds and ask yourself, how do I want to show up today? Calm, present, patient? This sets your emotional tone, and research shows that intentional priming in the morning can influence mood and behavior throughout the entire day. Number 2, the transition reset. Between meetings, before walking into your home, before your next task, pause and take one breath. Drop your shoulders, maybe unclench that jaw, right? Reset. This is where kindness lives, in those transitions. Most tension carries from one moment to the next. This habit stops that spillover. And number 3, the end of the day reflection. So important. At the end of the day, ask yourself, where did I see or practice kindness today? Just one moment. Studies in positive psychology show that reflecting on positive behaviors increases well-being and reinforces those behaviors moving forward. It trains your brain to look for more. And here's what's really happening. You're not just building routines. You're building identity. You're becoming someone who pauses instead of reacts, notices instead of overlooks, and responds with intention. And that changes everything. I'm telling you, I am a student of everything that I'm talking to you about. I've lived it, I've seen it work, and I'm here to tell you it's so worth it. And here's a reframe that changes everything. Instead of asking, how do I be more kind? Ask, where can I build kindness into what I already do? That's how it sticks. So you don't need this massive life overhaul. I don't want anybody to think that they have to add more stuff to their plate. You don't need more time either. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need small, repeatable moments of intention. Little routines create big kindness. So this week, choose one small kindness routine, one of the 3 that I mentioned. That morning tone, the transition reset, or the end of day reflection. Let me know how it goes. And practice it daily. And if this episode gave you something practical you can use, share it with somebody who's feeling maybe a little stretched too thin and could use that simple reset. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so we can keep building these habits together. I want to remind you that big change doesn't come from big moments. It comes from small ones that are repeated. And together, we create waves of change through kindness. Thanks for listening.